Hello, and welcome to Quantum Heart Talks. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, or wherever you may be in this beautiful world of ours. I am just thrilled to bring you another special guest on our Quantum Heart Talks. And my beautiful, gifted special guest today is Shamama Mama. I'm just so excited for Shamama Mama because I haven't known her very long, but let me tell you, as soon as I met her and Trinity and they worked together at Stars of Unity, I was just, it was an instant connection and an instant soul sister connection. And you know how you just meet people and you just kind of go, there's just no way. I think I've known you for a very long time. And just like Trinity, same thing. The energy was just so effervescent. There was a real alignment and connection. And I'm just so grateful, honored, and humbled that you would say yes to come on our Quantum Heart Talks. And I know you're super busy, and you're just doing amazing humanitarian work and raising human consciousness for so many. And I'm just thrilled. Oh, would you please, Shamama, please tell us more about your quantum energy practice, along with, I won't say it right now, but I'm going to talk about quantum energy practice first, and then we're going to get into this. I'm going to ask you something else after that.
Well, first of all, thank you. And likewise, what you're doing is absolutely incredible. And I'm honored to be here. So thank you. Yeah, we both have the same hearts. And that's what really drives us. I'm a big person on operating out of the heart. And so it's nice to meet you all, whoever comes across this. So yeah, I'm Shamama. I acquired the name in an interesting way. It's been isn't it a great journey?
I know, it's awesome.
The universe works with us with synchronicities and messages. And if you would have told me 3 years ago I would have been doing the things I'm doing now, I would have never believed you. Never, because we have to follow that. I always have to put aside that judgment and just move forward in full trust and surrender. That's a key word for me, is surrendering. So
I think that's a key word for all of us.
Yes.
Is to be in flow. Yes. We have to surrender.
Exactly.
I think that is a very powerful statement. And surrender doesn't necessarily mean, oh, I give up. It's not that kind of surrender.
No.
It's a surrender of, I know that there's something that has my back. And I'm cared for, and there's this trust, and there's this belief, there's this faith, and you just come into alignment. So I think that's a very powerful statement. So yeah, thank you.
No, absolutely. So yeah, because otherwise I wouldn't be doing this if I just trust our support, and it's out there. Yeah, it's out there. Because
okay, so that's what I want to. I'm going to step right into that one because you opened that door for me. Okay, because I actually got to participate. In one of your sessions, you had an open session where you channel what you have been come to be called, known as the many. And we were allowed to ask any question. Well, we were asked, we were asked any question we wanted. And you were channeling for like an hour. Could you tell those of us who are on the live and those who are coming back for the replay, where do you go? And how did you meet the many?
It's kind of I don't really go. It happens quickly now, but initially I did kind of a meditative practice, and just again, it's surrender. That's just going to be the key word today, surrender. And you just allow the energy field to envelop you, and you surrender to that. And you could feel it. You could feel it. You could feel the energy. It's so beautiful. And this is, they're called the many. It was interesting. We have it archived, but Trinity was asking questions, and she's just, what is your name? Where are you from? She's curious.
I love that about Trinity. She's awesome.
They call her the curious one because it's a
perfect name for her. That's awesome. the other thing is too, I had said to her, she holds an amazing space for the whole experience.
Yeah.
So thank you to Trinity as well. And thank you for being open to share this, because I know that some people are a little shy to share their gifts. So this is a wonderful opportunity for those of us that have those gifts, because those are some of the people that I know that have come into your group, and they have met you, and they now feel encouraged to share their gift now. So this is a
Yay.
beautiful thing when we can step into our light and step into our divine worthiness, because we're all here to do just that. And that was the whole point of Quantum Heart Talks, was to show people, the more of us that link hands and link hearts, we just get more in alignment and more in balance and stronger, and our sphere of influence gets bigger, and this is what the world needs right now. So tell us more about this.
You're channeling me. My heart is so full right now. I was like, oh my gosh, that's absolutely perfect, because that is one of my passions. Is I call it heart activation, but really, because I believe that's key. And Trinity has taught me to open up all the chakras. That actually came through in a channel, and opening up all the chakras in gratitude. But I center so easily in the heart, and allowing a flow of the heart, and teaching others to do that. So when you say that, because we all have the many are for the many to deliver information to the many, but also to channel to the many. I am not the sole vehicle for the many. So the many it's broad in that it is not meant just for me. It's no. It's not. It's not that I'm special, or everybody has the ability to tap into that field and communicate if they so choose, if they wish. But so it's scary, and that's where surrender comes in, because sometimes when I would be ready to go for a live, my heart would be racing, and I have to put aside every aspect of any ego, any busy to-dos going on in my head, and you have to put everything aside, because if that seeps in, I'm not in full surrender, right? And full surrender is just putting everything aside and allowing yourself to kind of merge with that dimension, and that, just kind of merge with it, and submerge and merge are the words. Yeah.
Now how long have you been channeling the many?
Not very long, only about maybe 6 months. I was doing card readings, and I would pull a card, and I would, get information. And I told Trinity, I said, I don't want to stop and start with shuffling cards. I don't feel I feel the information's just flowing through. I said, let's just open up to channel. Going back prior to that, it's been 2 years. Oh gosh, time flies. But I had a light language activation. It's recorded, and I'm so glad it was recorded. I wish it was video. This was the most incredible experience of my life. I'll never forget it. We were in a circle, and there was a female in the middle, and she was giving each person 10 minutes. And when it became my turn, about 3/4 away, I was a blubbering mess. I could not formulate a word. I was weighed down. She wanted to know what my I am was, and I could barely formulate that. I said, I think it's I am love, because I feel that naturally, but I couldn't even formulate it that clearly. And so she just said, give me your hands. She took my hands, and she told me to breathe into my sacral, and I did. And she takes my hands, and she just starts speaking in what I didn't even know what it was, but she just started speaking in light language. And I just start sobbing. I am just weeping. And then all of a sudden, I'm speaking to her. She's speaking back. We have this whole conversation flowing. I never spoke like, it was so freaking incredible. I get chills. I'm getting goosies. But this whole conversation going back and forth, being witnessed by a circle of people. And at the end, I was no longer a blubbering mess. I sat up straight, and I had this energy with me that stayed with me it was literally weeks. It was like everybody in the circle said, you look like a different person. You look 10 years younger.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That must have been something. Where was that? Where did that take place?
It was like a convention. It was here in Las Vegas. My son and daughter-in-law were one of the speakers. And so I attended it, and yeah, it was meant to be. Like I said, the way things click and happen, it was meant to be. And no one else had an activation like that there, but it was, I think there were a couple of people who already spoke it, but it was, I can't even, the recording, I'll send you the recording. Yeah, you can hear a lot of background noise because there's a room full of people, but it's definitely, it was an experience. So I spoke
Well,
about
I'll tell you, there's a lot of people out there that I think can really resonate with what you're saying, because there are some real interesting awakenings that are happening for people. Because I know that people are really scared right now. There's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of fear, because we've just been so misled for so long that what we thought we knew, it's hard to wrap your brain around. What do you mean this isn't my truth? But this is all I've known. But yet there's a part of them, they feel this pull towards something else, which is very fascinating. And I know that people are looking for something else. And this is what I'm hoping to do with this one Quantum Heart Talks, by having all you amazing gifted people to tell your story, because we weren't all like this. We were in the same, we were all exactly like you. We're going, I don't know what's going on. But Jesus, I mean, what's with all this crazy? This doesn't make sense. There's good people in the world. I know there's good people in the world. How are we going to connect? How are we going to make this happen? And then all of a sudden, when you, like you said, use the word surrender, it just comes, and all these synchronicities happen. There's no such thing as coincidence. You're finding your home. Things just pop up on your laptop or pop up on your phone. You kind of go, well, I've never seen that before. But they're awake enough now to go, maybe I should click on that, right? And so it sounds like you were open enough and aligned enough to say, I need to do this. I need to open myself to this, because what's over there, that ain't looking so good, right? Or the other thing is, I know where I've come from, and that ain't so good either. And so, you know what? I think I'll take my chances and try this direction, right? So
it was incremental, really. It was, because I started in the whole, I want to say not conspiracy, but the whole looking at things beyond what I was told by mainstream. And so that was the process a long time ago. It had nothing to do with spirituality, but eventually it led there, incrementally, step by step. It leads there because you think, well, if that's a lie, what else is going on? So you just start to open your mind and say, I'm going to take a look at it and see. So spirituality morphed into there slowly. Definitely the light language activation was the huge transition. I started to meditate prior to that, but I haven't been meditating for but maybe 3 years. I mean, really. Wow. And for me, meditating, it was like, how do I slow down the mind? What do I do? And my tip for anybody who hasn't is just go to gratitude. Keep your mind busy with gratitude.
Yes. Thank you for that, because that was the first thing when I moved out of peak performance. And people ask me, Tony, when you had that dark night of the soul, how did you like just snap out of it? It's not a snapping. The snapping happens when you finally just had enough, the whole surrender thing. But the baby steps, the steps forward, that was the first thing I was taught, is gratitude. What are you really grateful for? And why are we so obsessed with all this energy we put into the not having and the negative? And if we could just even do 10% of that concentration towards what we do have and what we do appreciate, it is just an amazing heart center opening, like you talked about. All of a sudden, that chakra, that heart just starts to just, you can almost hear the noise, and then it goes pop, right? And thank you for mentioning that, because that really is the best way to get out of fear, lack, and anxiety, depression, all those low vibrational things, is to just go into gratitude. And we all have things that we can be grateful for, all of us. And it is a wonderful way to start the journey forward on that path. That was the best thing. And the other thing that I mentioned to people too, obviously, to start a journal. But if you forget, I used to put sticky notes on places just to snap me. like to snap me out of it, going, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, thank you. Oh yeah, thank you. Right. And just that little bit of an awakening is enough to start you to be more consciously awake instead of asleep. Because like you mentioned, that gratitude, I believe, is that first, like that layer that starts to shine the light on, oh, this is what it means to be awake, right? Instead of in the dark. So what else did you do after being grateful? What was the next one?
Let's see. Grateful. That brought in the meditation field. So gratitude brought in the field. When I say the field, I mean the frequency energy that you feel around. It was so, and still, and we all feel it but just sitting in gratitude, you feel it around you. And it's just when you soak yourself in gratitude and extend it out, you feel the field. So what else? It just morphed from there into, I learned emotion code. It's a very simple modality. And then light language comes through when I do emotion code. And it's so crazy is that I'll act as proxy sometimes. And it's like not on every emotion, but on some emotion, I could literally be weeping. The emotion just overcomes me. And I'm experiencing their emotion for them. And through that process, then we release the emotion. So we have what we call the dual blast with me and Trinity. We always start a session with gratitude, connection, and just gratitude is the main thing, for the modalities, for the experience, and setting our intention for a client. And then we do emotion code, and then she'll do the subconscious repro. And then during that time, I'm getting ready to go on channel, and I go into channel for a message for the client and for further information and clarity. Yeah. So it's kind of like we call it a dual blast. So that's where
that's a serious package deal.
Yeah.
Right? You got all bases covered because we're talking the quantum field, and this is where people don't understand what quantum field is. Quantum field and our wellness is a package deal. It is spiritual, it is emotional, it is mental, and it is this 3D physiology that we're in. And you can't have real balance, real wellness balance and alignment without all those pillars being in the same place. And so I tell everybody, I explain to everybody, it's so important to do all of it. You can't just be so good in one area and then completely bankrupt in another and say, no, I'm good. No, you might be good for a bit, but at some point it's not going to be good. And that's usually what happens when, and I'm sure you experience this, is that it happens when, something sudden happens, like a tragedy or something tragic or a loss. That's when you really know if people are in alignment or balance or an area needs to be worked on. And so what a wonderful opportunity for people to be able to come to you and Trinity and your group and have so many of those layers, those pillars all taken care of. I mean, that is so powerful. And I don't know about you who's on here on the live, because I am feeling Shamama Mama's like energy, like big time, and something else going on, because I'm just like buzzing right now. I'm like literally buzzing.
Yeah. So there's many days that especially now that I buzz during the day. And this is, it's just to go through the day in flow and trust. And Trinity's helped me a lot on this, because I used to operate from the worried mind. I used to operate from all in the head. I have to do this. I have to do that. I'm behind on this. I'm always in reaction mode and always not in present, always in my head. But like when you're speaking to me, I am focused solely on you. I am connected with you in a deep way, because I'm focused only on you. I don't care what else is going on. And that's being present and learning that, operating from that level. Trinity's helped me so much on that. It's like I'm truly living now. Before, I could go through a day and not even remember what the heck happened because I was so in my head. And I think
thank you for sharing that, because I think this is where we've come from as a society. We've been on this linear track that's made us compartmentalize everything and put everything in like little nice neat packages, right? And if they're not fitting in the nice little pair, we start to make ourselves crazy. And here again, it's not supposed to be in nice neat packages. It's all connected. It's all one. We are one. I
Yes.
am you.
Yes.
You are me.
Yes.
We are not separated. Everything is energy. Everything is in flow. As soon as you cut that off or twist the hose, now we're in trouble. And I think that's the problem. We've been so compartmentalized, twisted in the hose, stuck in our head, stuck in our hearts, stuck in all the poisons in our body, that people feel so lost that they're looking for a tribe, a community. And I want to invite all of you who are on this call today, watching it live or the replay, you have found your community. If you feel your heart opening and you are resonating with Shamama, please, please reach out to her, reach out to Trinity Stars of Unity, reach out to Michelle Grote, or just reach out to whoever has invited you to this call, because what we have here is we are introducing all of these amazing heart-centered humanitarians, because they're all part of our wellness tool, our quantum energy wellness tool called Limbic Arc, as many of you have heard, which is truly the world's first quantum energy tool. And I share it because it synergistically works with everything, because it works in that realm where it is a package deal, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. And just like your modality, you have an emotional modality, you have a spiritual modality, you've got a mental modality, you know, we've got physical modalities. We have all these modalities that are meant to work synergistically together. They're separate, but they're the same, because they all are the purpose of getting everybody into alignment and balance. And that's why I love Limbic Arc, because it kind of marries everything together too. But because some people don't have your gift, obviously. Actually, a lot of people, we all do actually, but somehow we've lost where the tap is, how to tap into it. And Limbic Arc has been able to do that seamlessly. It's like this nice little bridge to help you connect with your innate intelligence. And I know when I introduced it to you, your heart was so open to receive and to learn more. And so I want to ask you, what was your experience like the first time that when we did your quantum bioscan? What was that like for you?
When I saw the technology and I saw this is incredible library, but when I felt the technology, I was blown away. I felt my body buzzing, as I said, and I felt incredible. And I feel incredible. There were a couple days, I think I had to make a few adjustments, but every day beyond that has been absolutely wonderful. I am so beyond ecstatic that this was created for us at a price that we could afford, because to understand this technology, it is working synergistically with what we are doing. And anybody who has a desire to begin the process of connecting to their gifts, begin the process of understanding the field and feeling the field and working with the field, this is the bridge. So in that being said, the actual other benefits, I know my husband, he had constant elbow discomfort for over a year, and I sparked him at night, and the next morning I got up. I didn't even say anything to him. I didn't ask him. I intended to, but he came out of the bedroom and he said, my elbow pain's gone. It's gone, completely gone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it has innate intelligence that it knew he had. This was another spark several weeks later, just about a week ago. His athlete's foot had flared up. And what was the first ingredient on the spark? It had to do with athlete's foot. I'm like, come on now. Are you kidding me? There's no way. He didn't say in the voice recording, I have athlete's foot. It wasn't, but that imprint and that signature of his voice, that intelligence, as crazy as it seems, it works.
I know.
To understand it, I couldn't explain every aspect to you. Not at all. But
neither can I.
I know what I feel, and I look for the confirmations in the sparks, because I know him, I know me, and I know, and I look at mine too, and the ingredients will be, do you remember my first spark, what the top two? You probably don't. I don't expect you to. The top two were EMF, and it was like the high 90s was the 5G EMF.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And I said, oh my gosh, you're being hijacked.
Yeah.
Right. And you're just kind of going, Oh, that makes sense because I've been feeling rather tired.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
You just
I
know you
kind
don't
of.
know why you're tired because
Mhm.
it's an unseen. Just
Yes.
like molds are unseen. And we've talked about that before. People have no idea. Um, we're so programmed to have to see something to believe it.
Yeah.
And then we're depending on external forces, external things to give us the answer. And that's the other reason why I'm so excited to share limbic art, because like your experience, we're empowering the individual.
Yep.
We're empowering the individual to be able to take their wellness back. And how incredible for a family, for a mother and a father to actually figure out what might be going on with their
Mhm.
child and not have to do all this guessing and give them any more, I'm not saying you have to, I mean, there's some very serious issues that I agree, but for everyday living,
Mhm.
how incredible it is to find the missing links or the unseen hijackers that might be creeping in and we don't even know it until it
Yeah.
rears its ugly head.
Yeah.
And so I'm just so honored and so blessed to have you and Trinity in our beautiful community
Thank you.
of
And we
quantum
are.
wellness. Oh,
Thank
because it's just the more that we can get this out to people, the more we can empower them. And that's what it's about. It's about unlocking and activating and empowering.
you. Mhm.
And when we do this together, watch out, world. This is how we make change from a heart-centered space,
Mhm.
from love, not from fear. And this is what it's all about. And I am just thrilled to have you part of this journey. And I thank you
Yeah.
so much for being open and sharing your gift and your light and your
Thank
love.
you.
And
And I want to
I'm
thank
just
you
so
for doing that
excited.
as well, and everybody out there. Thank you for sharing your love and light because
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. So everybody, our monthly challenge is coming up, and you know what? You have access to these beautiful heart-centered humanitarians that are gifting some of their talents to you during the challenge. And you just reach out to the person who's invited you on to the program, who might be have introduced you to Limbic Arc, and get your account. It's only $100 for 30 days. There's no long-term commitment, and you've got access to over 600 ingredients. You've got access to the unseens, and you're going to unlock your bioscan and find out exactly what's been missing in this beautiful physiology. And oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to get going on this. So thank you, Shamama.
yeah,
We're
you're
so excited to have
welcome.
you
Thank
here.
you. Thank
Thank
you.
you, everybody, for joining
Yeah.
us. And we look forward to our next Quantum Talks, which is going to be tomorrow. Thanks,
Yay.
everybody. Have a
Thank
beautiful
you.
evening or
Bye.
wherever you may be in the world.
Yes.
Namaste.
Namaste.